Hi everyone. So today it's the continuation of module 1, that is the second chapter. So what we are having in module 1, chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 it's about introduction to civil engineering and chapter 2 is about engineering mechanics. So now we'll go with the chapter 2 engineering mechanics. So first of all, what we are having the module 1, it's all about introduction to engineering and the mechanics part. So we have discussed about the different classification or the fields of civil engineering. So next is about when it is belongs to engineering mechanics. So first of all, we should know what exactly the mechanics means. It is a branch of science which deals with the action of forces on bodies at rest or in motion. It says that the mechanics is mainly deals with the science which the action of forces on the bodies when it is at rest or it is under moving condition. Then when it is belongs to engineering mechanics, it deals with the principles of mechanics as applied to the problems in engineering in a different laws or the systematic in a different ways of systematic manner. That says that engineering mechanics. So when it is before starting with forces or the classification of forces, so we should learn about the basic concepts of engineering mechanics that involves matter, mass, particle, volume, or in terms of the concepts of physical quantity, scalar and the vector quantity. As well, we should know what exactly the speed, acceleration, or what are all the Newton's laws of motion, then what are all the elements of force. So that all you are going to learn from basic concepts of engineering mechanics. So I'll start with the first one, matter. So anything which has mass and requires space to occupy is called as matter. It is nothing but which is having something mass that is going to occupy the complete space. We'll say that will be as a matter. Then mass. Second one is the mass. It is measure of quality of matter contained by the body. So what I said with the matter, it is a measuring quality of a matter. So if there is a matter, that will be measured in terms of a mass. So we'll say that will be as mass. What you are having the scale or the measuring of a quality of that particular matter which is having in the body, we'll say that will be as mass. So that mass is having different types of units. So the SI unit is kg. Then the third one is volume. It is measure of space occupied by the body. So the unit is SI unit is meter cube, or we'll say cubic meter. And note on that if you want to go for any shops and if you want to buy anything, if you ask in terms of volume, say if you want to buy a milk, we'll say 1 liter milk. Now we are taking the volume, but we are saying in terms of liters, right? See, that is very important. In practical, what we are having, we'll say in terms of liters, but we should express in terms of SI unit is that is belongs to meter cube, and we should be remember that 1 meter cube, it is nothing but 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. The 1 meter cube volume is will be equal to 1000 liters. Okay, sometimes it will be expressed in terms of TMS. So what is TMS? 1000 million cubic feet. So sometimes the volume will be expressed in terms of cubic feet. So that is 1000 million. So it is 1000 by 1000 by 1000. So that will become 10 power 9. So we know that 1 million is 10 power 5 and 1000. So it will become 10 power 9. So 10 power 9 feet cube. So 1 million is nothing but 10 lakhs. So 10 power 6. So 10 and what 1000 is 10 power 3. So 1000 million, it is nothing but 10 power 3 into 10 power 6. That will become 10 power 9. Okay, that is 1000 by 1000 by 1000 feet. Then the fourth one is state of rest and motion. State of rest and state of motion are relative and that depends on the reference. A body is said to be in state of rest with respect to the frame of reference in the position of a body. So if you're saying the body is at rest and if it is not moving, we'll say that will be in static condition. Then again, what you are having now, the position of the body with respect to that the frame of reference is not changing with the time. A body is said to be led to be in a state of motion with respect to frame of reference if the position of the body with respect that the frame of reference is changing with respect to time. If you are saying that the body is moving with respect to time, it is a state of motion, and if it is not moving with respect to time, we'll say that will be a state of rest. The next is scalar and vector quantities. The quantities which is required only magnitude to represent them are called scalar. The property or the quantity which is having only the magnitude, we'll say that will be a scalar quantity. For example, mass and the time. The quantities which requires both magnitude and direction to represent them is called as vector. Like force as well as the velocity, meter per second, it is nothing but time by what you are having, the distance by time. And the speed and the velocity is the sixth one. The distance traveled in unit time is called speed, and it will be measured in terms of meter per second. As well as the displacement in unit time is called as velocity. Again, it will be measured in terms of meter per second. Seventh one, uniform motion and non-uniform motion. If the velocity of the moving body remains constant, then the motion is said to be uniform. So we can see that what you are having, the speed or the velocity, the body which is remains constant throughout the motion, means if it is traveling from one point to another point, if it is having the constant speed or the constant velocity, we'll say that will be as uniform motion. And if the velocity is changing with respect to time, then that motion is led to be non-uniform. That will be called as non-uniform motion. Then the eighth one, momentum. It is the capacity of the moving body to impart motion to other bodies. So momentum is nothing but there will be of a moment. So it is the capacity of that moving body to impart motion to other bodies. And the momentum will be measured in terms of mass into velocity. Mass into velocity, that is kg meter per second. Kg is mass into meter per second is velocity. The unit for momentum is kg meter per second. Newton's law of motion, there will be of three laws of motion according to Newton. Newton's first law says that every body continues to be in its state of rest or uniform motion unless compelled by an external agency. So every body will be continuous in state of rest or uniform unless compelled by an external force. We'll say that will be as Newton's first law. And Newton's second law of motion, the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the magnitude of the force applied takes place in the direction of the force. It is nothing but what you are having, F is equal to ma. F is the force that will be calculated by mass into acceleration. So if there is a mass of that particular matter, so what you are measuring the scale, that particular quantity of that matter that is to be traveled with respect to the time, we'll say that will be as acceleration, mass into time or mass into acceleration. Acceleration is velocity by time. So now what you are having, the Newton's second law says that if you want to find out an force, then it should be an mass into acceleration. That says that Newton's second law of motion is the rate of change of momentum. The rate of change of momentum, we can see that there will be of acceleration, the velocity which has been traveled from one place to another place with respect to velocity is distance by time. So here what you are having, the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the magnitude of the force applied and takes place in the direction of the force is applied. Then the Newton's third law of motion, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So whatever it may be the action, for that it will be equal and opposite reactions. That says that Newton's third law of motion. Then inertia. It is the inherent property of a body by virtue of which it can retain its state of rest or uniform motion unless compelled by an external agency. We'll say that will be as inertia. Then force. Force is an external agency which overcomes or tends to overcome the inertia of a body. It is a vector quantity. So according to Newton, first law, the force is defined as an action or the agent. So which changes or tends to change the state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line. And the unit of force will be measured as, the gravitational is MKS unit will be measured as kgf. Kgf is kilogram force and the SI unit is Newton. And we should be very careful. The all will be measured in terms of SI units, but sometimes it will be given in terms of MKS units also. So if they are in kgf, So kgf, so 1 kgf will be equal to 9.81 Newton. That's why it's due. It is due to the gravitational unit force. So whatever it may be in terms of kgf, that should be directly multiplied by 9.81 to get in terms of SI unit, that is in terms of Newton. Then we have the elements of force. There are 4 important elements to be remembered in the force. That is magnitude. It is nothing but magnitude is nothing but there is a weight. Second one is direction. It is nothing but where it is traveling. Line of action, that is where it has been started. And point of action, so where it has to reach. So these are the 4 important parameters should be remembered in the force. If you are saying the force, there should be a weightage for that. So we'll say that will be as magnitude, and there should be a direction which has to travel. And third one is the line of action, where it has to go, and point of application and where it has to reach. Okay, so this is all the elements of force, that is the important points to be remembered in the force. So 15th one is branches of mechanics. That is, the mechanics has been classified as solid mechanics and fluid mechanics. So when it is belongs to solid mechanics, we'll say that is in terms of a solid part, that is having rigid body mechanics and mechanics of deformable bodies. So rigid is nothing but the body which is fixed, and mechanics of deformable bodies is nothing but the body which has been break down. So fluid mechanics has been classified as fluid statics, fluid kinematics, and fluid dynamics. So fluid mechanics is a branch of mechanics that mainly deals with the property of a fluid when it is at rest or it is under motion condition. That is, static is rest, and kinematics and dynamics is moving condition, that too with considering forces or without considering forces. So what you are having now, again the rigid body has been classified as statics and dynamics. So here what you are having, fluid mechanics, it mainly deals with the liquid part as well as in terms of gaseous part. So what you are having, the solid mechanics, it is the same applications or the principles which has been used in solid mechanics, but what you are having, the statics or the dynamics, which has been used in terms of solid part. So statics is deals with again what you are having, the dynamics has been classified as 2 parts, kinematics and kinetics. That is, we have now the dynamics is nothing but it is under moving condition. So if it is considering the forces, we'll say it will be as kinetics, and if it is not considering of forces, we'll say that will be as kinematics. So static deals with the action of forces on the bodies at rest or it is in equilibrium. Dynamics deals with the action of forces on the bodies which is under motion. Kinematics deals with the study of geometry of motion without considering an external agent. Then kinetics deals with the study of motion considering the cause of motion, that is the considering the forces. Then the rigid body. So the concept of rigid body is purely theoretical or imaginary. A rigid body is is said to undergo no deformation under the action of any external agency such as the force and movements. In other words, relative positions of the modules of a rigid body are fixed in space. So we can say that it is only an imaginary condition, and after applying of forces also which doesn't go any deformation. Particle. Concept of particle is purely theoretical or imaginary. A particle is said to have a mass but requires no space to occupy. In other words, a particle is a point mass. The concept of particle cannot be used in the shape and size of the body is influencing the motion. So we can say the example is the motion of a swimmer, because we don't know, but we can say it is a motion of a swimmer. That is the best example we can give for a particle. Then the second example is motion of a body along the curved path. Yeah, then the 18th one is continuum. The concept of continuum is purely theoretical or imaginary. Continuum is said to be made up of infinite number of molecules packed in such a way that there is no gap between the molecules, so that property functions remain same at all the points. So continuum, there will be of infinite number of particles which has been formed as a one, but there is no gap between that molecules property of functions, but it is same throughout that all the molecules which is present in that infinite numbers. Then let us coming to the point force. The concept of point force is purely theoretical or imaginary. Here the force is assumed to be act at one particular point, or we can say an infinite small area. So these are all 19 points should be remember, the basic concepts which is very important in engineering mechanics. Thank you.